Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. I am Cheryl here at the Made on Sunday studio, and I talk all about branding, design, and creative entrepreneurship on this channel. So if you're building your own business, then be sure to subscribe to follow along. Now in today's video, I am finally going to be going through a very quick beginner's guide to using Notion for the first time. I know you've probably heard of Notion if you have landed on this video right now. And I don't know if you know, but I've been obsessed with Notion for the past probably 2.5, 3 years now. And I use Notion to basically organize my whole life and business all in one space. If you have absolutely no idea what Notion is, it is think of it as like a digital dashboard or digital workspace where you can add different blocks into like a blank space and basically create any kind of workspace that you can imagine. So you can, all the basic building blocks of notes, to-do lists, databases, Excel sheets, a calendar, all the basic kind of building blocks that you need for any kind of organization or productivity tool. You can basically add those little blocks into a blank space and create your own custom workspace. So I am very excited today because I know that a lot of you want to use Notion, but maybe feel a little bit overwhelmed when you open up the app and realize it's a blank page that you begin with. So in today's video, not only am I going to be going through just the basics of how to navigate Notion and use Notion for the first time, but also we're going to go through building your own home dashboard so you can use it as a little home space to create different spaces within your home dashboard. And then I'm actually going to be providing you a little template so that you can start off with my own template. All right, so hope you're excited. Let's get right into it. Let's hop into my laptop and let's check out Notion. All right, so welcome to my laptop. I am right now just on the Notion pricing page. So if you don't have a Notion account yet, if you're opening it for the first time, Notion is free to use pretty much for everything that you really need, especially in the beginning. The only time, I'm on the Plus plan, so I do pay $8 a month, I believe, but the only reason why I'm on the Plus plan is because I'm using it for business, and with the Plus plan, you can add more than 10 guests. I actually add guests into the client portal that I created with Notion to work with my clients so that we can work on a space together. But if you're not using it for that reason, or you don't have more than 10 clients, then you can really just use the free account. So I'll leave the links to Notion below, and then you can head to this page and get signed up for Notion right away. All right, so once you have Notion signed up, you can actually log into your account and use it right on the desktop, or I actually like to use the desktop app. And this is what the desktop app looks like. It looks exactly the same. I just like to use the desktop app version just because it's a little bit more clean and you don't see all of the different browser tabs open up top. And when you're starting off with Notion, it's actually easiest to start with some sort of home dashboard, and this is where you can go off and link to different spaces. So for example, on my home dashboard, I start off with a little word of the year just to remind myself what my word of the year is, and a little affirmation here. I have added a couple of widgets, which I can totally show you guys where I took these from. These are free widgets. And then I have different kind of sections, you might call it, on my Notion dashboard. So I've split up my sections by actions database. So just so you know, I do mix life and business together. Some people might split up life dashboard and then business dashboard, but because my business is a solo business right now, I'm the only one in my business, it's so intertwined, I guess, with my personal life that it actually makes more sense for me to just have everything together. So that's why you'll see some overlap in like some of the spaces here between personal and business. So the first section I have here is my actions dashboard. And basically this space this is like what I use every single day. This is the action zone. So once you click in here, this is where I start my workday. So like this is where I plan what I do for the day, what projects I'm working on, all my calendar and all the things that I do that are like task oriented for the day. And then I have my journal, my diary, and then under my goals, process, and review section, I just have all of the sections where I review like my monthly reviews and quarterly reviews. Actually, I don't do monthly. I only do quarterly right now. And then I also have my bullet journal that I used to use. I don't really use this anymore because I actually added a new health tracker because I'm dealing with some health things right now. So it's a little bit more specific to my health than just kind of like the general daily bullet journal. Then I have another section called my content creation section, and this is where I do all my content creation. So whether it is for my Made on Sundays general content plan for YouTube, newsletter, Instagram, for my other vlog channel, as well as all my courses are under content creation. And then I have this little fun and exercise section where I just do all of my personal fun things, plan all my personal fun things. And then I have my learning and growing section, which is all the courses that I have taken or am taking right now. And then this is my main like business workspace. So everything regarding Made on Sundays, my business, is under here. So I have like my shop and my client database, my SOPs and my team. I do work with contractors, so I have a little team dashboard there, and then a couple of other things there as well. So that is kind of my home dashboard, and I guess let's go on to making your own. When you open Notion for the first time, you're probably going to be seeing a blank page. So why don't we start off with a blank page? All right, so a couple things about Notion is that if you click on this little button right here, you're going to see your kind of dashboard down here. And these are all the different pages that you can create. And then within these pages, you can create sub pages. So in your main pages right now, we are going to be creating your home dashboard. And you're going to see this kind of pop up here. And then once you kind of toggle it out, you will see all of the sub pages that you have under your actual main page. So I'm just going to hide that for now because we have a little bit more space to play with. So when you start a new page, you can actually start with an empty page, or you can, start with a database, but I always like to just start with an empty page. There are a couple of styling things that you can do with your page. So if you hover over the top, you can add a little icon. You can use any of the emojis. You can use any of these icons, which I like to use these days, and kind of change the color of them here. Or you can actually upload your custom icon if you want to, which I like to do with any of my client projects. So if I'm working with a client, then I usually upload their logo in the little icon section. So for now, I'm just going to add this little home icon. And then you can actually add a little border here as well. So I'm going to add cover here and go to change cover and move my head a little bit. And you can use any of like the photos that they have here, or you can upload your own photo or search on Unsplash for a photo. For this one, I think I'm going to upload, go on Pinterest and just look for a random photo and just upload it here. Okay, so I found this cute little sunflower photo, but you can use whatever you like. Next, you can actually go to the top right here and click on these three little dots. And you can also change the font style. So go ahead and I'm going to use mono, but you can use whichever one you like. I typically like to use small text because I like to have a lot of things on one page and it gives it more space. And then I always do full length as well. There's a couple of the other things that you can do here as well, but for now we can just leave those there. And then we can start building our home dashboard. So first off, let's go to this little add button. So basically on Notion, you can just add as many little sections as you like. It comes off as a blank page, and then you can just add in like little blocks of whatever you like. So if you go into any space here, you can add a little plus button right here, and there's a lot of things that you like blocks that you can add in. So you can add like normal text, you can add like a link to a page, you can add like a to-do list. It basically creates a checkbox. You can add like a header, table, bullet form, numbered list, a toggle, which basically allows you to have like little subsections, a quote. Let's just go through all the different things, and then you can do like more complicated things as well, which we will maybe explore a little bit later. But for now, we are going to add some text here, and I am going to create your little word of the year here. And for my word of the year, it is empower. And as you can see, this text is like pretty small right now, so I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to actually change this to like heading 2, so it's a little bit bigger. And if you want to continue to style this, you can actually click on the 6 dots here, and you can change the color of the text. Like let's say you want it to be yellow, or you can also change the background, so you can change the background. For now, maybe I'll just make this yellow here. And then I actually like to do a little like affirmation from my word of the year. So for example, you can put like, I am strong, I am capable, and I am doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. Just a little reminder of how you can keep that word of the year in mind by setting an intention every day. And I'm just going to kind of highlight this. One other styling thing you can do, if you double click it, you can also bold and like italicize or underline as well. So if you want to keep those in mind, you can do that as well. All right, so the next space that I like to do here at the top is usually some of those widgets. So I'm actually going to open up the 2 websites that I like to get some of these free widgets. So the first one here is called Widget Box. So I'm going to definitely link this in the description below, and you can find those here. It does give you only a couple widgets for free. So there's really only like 3 that are free. So I like to use this one as well as this calendar one here. So it's really easy. Basically just go in and then you can customize the color. So you can just like, let's say we want this color to be like yellow. And then we can make the text color maybe like a darker orange. That's cute. And then you can do like a little bit styling of the rounded edges. Let's say that looks good. You can just copy it, and we're going to bring it into Notion. All right, so all you have to do is you have that widget embed copied. So all you're going to do is Command V or whatever your paste button is, and we're going to go and create embed. This way, this is going to embed that little clock into here, and you can just go and drag kind of this little box so that it is smaller. And then we're going to grab the other widgets. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab this calendar one. And let's change the color of these. So again, maybe we'll do it like yellow. All right, I think that looks really cute. And then I'm just going to copy this over. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing. So just put your cursor anywhere, paste it, and create embed. And it's going to embed that little calendar in there. And as you can see right now, it's stacked on top of each other. You can actually just grab any of them. So maybe grab it from the 6 dots and then just move it, like literally drag it over. And we're going to try to put it right beside this calendar. There we go. Now they are beside each other. And the reason why they're so far from each other is because of this little line here. So if you move this line, you can move it right beside each other. All right. Last widget here is the Indify website. So on this Indify website, again, I'll link in the description below. I really like their weather widgets. So I'm just gonna go into the weather widget here, which I've already pre-styled before, but let's change up the color a little bit. I'm gonna make this like, style it however you like. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go into any space here and I'm just going to paste it again and create embed. And I'm just going to put this right in the beginning here. All right, so we're gonna just align these a little bit better. So just drag these lines and just kind of work with the space, maybe like this, just so it's a little bit more balanced. Okay, great. So I think that looks really good. We are going to start a new line. So the next space here are those sections that we were creating. So again, we are going to just add some text here and we're going to call this, let's say your, I like to have actions zone. So maybe we'll call this, we'll just make this into like bold. And then again, we can color this. And I'm going to just add some text under. So this is where basically you would have like add different pages here. So you can go on the little plus button here again, and you can add a page, and this will create a sub page within that section. So I'm just gonna call this action zone here, and we can create that later. But we're gonna go back here into our space. And I just realized that this is stacking under this. So I just want to make sure it's stacked on its own line here. There we go. All right, so next section I like to do is maybe like review, a green, and then again, we're gonna add like a different page here. So kind of create spaces that you think make sense for you. Maybe you have a business zone, and then maybe you have like health and fitness, and then maybe you have like education like I do. Actually, I'm gonna do 6 sections again. So maybe you wanna do like a personal zone. I don't know, doesn't really matter. Kind of build out these sections, and now we're going to actually stack them so that they are stacked beside each other. So I'm actually going to highlight over this section, and I'm going to move it right beside action zone here, and you're going to see it kind of move out of the way. So I'm going to move it back in here, and I'm going to make 3 columns. So I'm going to do the same thing again, put it beside each other, highlight education, put it beside health and fitness, and we're going to just do that for all of the different sections. And now we have 3 columns of 6 sections. So it looks really cute already. And you can then go in and add those different pages. So for example, let's say we have this action zone here. So within the action zone, this is where I actually like to do my to-do list. And for my to-do list, I actually create it in a database. So we're gonna add the add button here again, and we are going to go all the way down to database here, and I'm gonna create an inline database. Again, I'm gonna make this full width and small, and then you can obviously do all the different styling things if you like. You can add like a cover again. It doesn't really matter which color you do or cover you do. Okay, so let's say this is my action zone. This is going to be my to-do list, and this is where I can add different properties. So for example, in your to-do list, you might want to put your task name here. I'm just gonna delete this one. This comes with like a default. And when you click on add here, you can actually add different properties within your to-do list. So one that's really important is making sure that there is a checkbox so I know when it's done. So I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to rename this to complete. and I will click on that when it is complete. I might want to add a section for notes. So when I'm doing a task, maybe I would like to kind of write down a couple of things here. Actually, I forgot to put date here. So that's the one thing we should probably add. When is this actually due? So I'm going to add a date here. All right, so that is good for now. You can add other properties that make sense for you if you like, but for to-do list, it's pretty self-explanatory. And now I can just go in here and put like to-do list. Today is like film, YouTube video. The next one might be like edit YouTube video. And then I have like a workout class later. So you can just put down workout class here. And when it's complete, you can check it off. But as you can see here, right now when I check this off, it actually doesn't disappear. So you can just like keep adding to-do lists and this will go on forever. And I actually don't like that. So we want to make sure to put in a filter here so that it only shows tasks that have not been completed yet. So I'm going to add a filter here, put date as anything that is today is on or before today. So meaning if I had a task that I created yesterday, then it will still show up here. But my other rule is that it will only show up if this is unchecked. So meaning if I have, as you can see here, if I have a task that is already checked, it will disappear and it won't show on this list. So for example, film YouTube video, edit YouTube video. So right now, because there are these two rules now, until I've done this task, once I complete it, it will disappear, or at least it will still be on the database, but it won't show on this list, so that doesn't crowd out the space. So the good thing about doing these filters is if you have a task that you never complete, it will still show up here because of the filter that it will show any date before today or today. So it'll still show up on this list until you check off the complete box. So it's really important to add those filters in. And then I actually like to see this to-do list in a calendar format as well. So I want the same database, but to show in a calendar format. So how you do that is you can add the plus button again, and we're going to go all the way down to database again, and we're going to link view of database. So here I'm going to actually link, this is the same list as that, so I'm going to click on that, and right now it's going to show the same thing, but instead of a table format, we're going to change this view to layout here, and we're going to change it to calendar. And as you can see here now, anything that you add into the space and you change the date, let's say tomorrow I want to work on filming YouTube shorts. Right now it's default into today's date, but you can actually set it to tomorrow's date. And it will then, on this calendar view, make sure you change the filter so that it will show all of the tasks. So I'm going to remove these filters. And now on this calendar view, you're going to be able to see all of the different tasks, whether they have been completed or not. So I like to have both of these views. This is what I will be using every day to check off things that I've completed. And this is where I can see more of an overview of all of the different tasks, whether they are completed or not. So that is my action zone. If you'd like to add other things like weekly checklist, you can do that. You can just basically add in different spaces here, Monday, Tuesday. Like let's say you want to plan the days of the week. You can stack them beside each other. And you can then add like checklists, like for example, under Monday, maybe you want to add a to-do list. And I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to hold on Option and actually copies and paste the same thing. So I'm going to do that really quickly, and maybe you want to bold it, so I can do Command B and bold and underline. You can color these if you like, but I'm just going to keep it simple for this tutorial's sake. And if you prefer to have this kind of week view, maybe I'll add a little title here, call it weekly to do. Some people I know like to kind of plan their day out. They go here and they plan their week out, and then they kind of move these tasks into the calendar view. So let's say right now I'm planning for the rest of the week, Wednesday to Friday. I can be like, tomorrow I'm going to go to yoga. I can actually plan my week out here, and then I'm going to grab this task and I'm actually going to put it into this space. And magically, it will then transfer over to this calendar here. And on Wednesday, tomorrow, when I wake up, this task is going to show up right here. So there's a lot of magical things. You can link them all together. It's pretty amazing. But that's just a little example of how you might want to create your to-do list. So anyways, that is just an example of that section there. And under every one of these sections, you can now kind of add your different pages. You can style it however you like. As you saw, you now know how to add text, you know how to add checkboxes, you know how to create a database. This guy is your limit here. So definitely go in and kind of play around with it and see how you can make this into a space of your own. Anyways, I am going to provide whatever I made here into a template, and I'm going to include it in the description below so you can download this for free. And that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned how to use Notion for the first time. I know once I started using Notion, it has dramatically changed how I see and organize my life, and my productivity levels has just boosted incredibly. So I hope you're feeling inspired and excited to use Notion as well. And that actually leads me to introducing that my newest course is coming out on March 20th. It is called Client HQ, Streamline Your Client Project Management with Notion. And it is basically how to use Notion for freelancers, for service-based businesses. So if you're a designer, a copywriter, if you are a coach or consultant, or really any other like service-based business, even a nutritionist or a fitness instructor, if you have clients that you speak to or work with digitally, then this is the course for you. I am so excited to put this together because I've been using Notion in the last 2 years to not only organize all of my projects for my business, but also my interaction with all of my clients, including the client portal, and all of the communication has been streamlined into one space on Notion. And I feel like it has dramatically boosted my productivity and helped me grow my business, reduce overwhelm, and just be able to provide the best client experience ever. So I hope you're excited. If you want more details about the course, I'm going to link it in the description below. My waiting list is open now until the 17th, where you are going to be able to get actually a discount to my course. So be sure to join the wait list. And if it is past the 20th now, the course has been launched, so please check out the link below and you can sign up and enroll for the course now. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video, or maybe in the course. All right, bye.